TikTok keeps taking my green screen away, so I apologize if that happens. I'll bring it back. If a I'm doing thought experiments with ChatGPT this morning. If a Democratic president comes into power next and acts the same way toward red states that Trump is acting right now towards blue states, what would the right say about that? Well, the answer won't surprise you. If a Democratic president were to adopt a similar approach toward red states as Trump has toward blue states, such as leveraging federal power to undermine state policies, attacking local governance, or restricting funding, it's likely that the right would express significant outrage. Here are several key points the right may raise in response. Violation of states' rights. Strong opposition. The right often champions the principles of state rights. Really? They do, huh? Arguing that states should have the autonomy to govern themselves without federal interference. A Democratic president acting in the way that undermines red state policies would likely be viewed as an infringement on this principle, prompting strong criticism from conservative leaders and constituencies. Yeah, federal overreach. Critique of centralized power. Conservatives might argue that such actions represent a dangerous trend towards federal overreach. They would likely frame it as an attempt to oppose a liberal agenda on states that prefer more conservative governance, thus igniting discussions around the proper balance of power between state and local authorities. Hypocrisy claims. Accusations of double standards. Many of the right would likely point out the perceived hypocrisy of the left, arguing that Democrats who criticize Trump for his confrontational approach would be guilty of the same behavior if they were in power. This could lead to accusations that Democrats do not genuinely support the principles of federalism and local governance. I say, so what? You want to do this shit to blue states? Guess what you got coming? That's what I say. The impact on local economies. The right might emphasize the negative economic impacts that federal actions could have on red states. They might argue that undermining local policies could harm businesses, job growth, and overall economic stability, portraying the Democratic administration as out of touch with the needs of the communities. You mean, not as out of touch as Trump sitting behind the desk in the Oval Office and saying that Governor Newsom is not a very effective governor, even though California is the largest economy in the world, the fourth largest economy in the world. The fourth largest economy, not in the United States, in the world. Tell me how he's mismanaging that. How delusional these people are, man. Just delusional. Oh, the mobilization of the conservative base. Really? That? Such actions could galvanize the conservative base, prompting increased political activism and voter mobilization in opposition to the Democratic administration. Really? We haven't seen that before. The narrative of defending states' rights could serve as a rallying cry for conservative candidates and organizations. Because we haven't seen that before. Oh, critical coverage by the media. Conservative media outlets would likely provide extensive coverage of any perceived outreach, framing it as an assault on American values and governance. This could include editorials, opinion pieces, and news segments highlighting the implications of such actions, which is exactly what our media should be doing now. Judicial action. The right might pursue legal challenges against federal actions perceived as infringing on state rights. This could involve lawsuits aimed at stopping federal interventions in state policies, echoing past conservative efforts to challenge federal overreach in courts. That is why you motherfuckers shouldn't complain about anything that we're doing right now. Just ridiculous. You people are such hypocrites. Such hypocrites. Oh, and the narrative of unity versus division. They don't want unity, but conservatives might argue that such actions would exacerbate divisions within the country, painting like they care. Like they care. Painting the Democratic president as a divisive figure who prioritizes ideological agendas over national unity, like Trump right now, right? I hope any conservatives watching this can see how this goes. You can see how this goes. This is exactly what you'd say, and it's exactly what you said before. That's why we know it's true. They may call for a return to cooperative governance that respects the rights of all states, regardless of political affiliation. Yeah, you would too. You would if your red states were being overrun by the military being invaded by a Democratic president, oh, you'd have a lot of this to say, wouldn't you? In summary, if a Democratic president were to act similarly to Trump regarding red states, the right would likely respond with a mix of outrage, legal challenges, and political mobilization, emphasizing principles such as states' rights, opposition to federal overreach, and the importance of local governance. Just bullshit. I know, but this is all true because they've done it before. They've done it before. Your president is trying to do anything that he can right now to stay in power. You get that, right? And most of you want that because you know you all are going to have to crawl back into your fucking holes where you're too embarrassed to come out and say the shit you say now. The racism that you just spew like it's a font of fucking knowledge. You just garbage people. That's what you will do. That is what you'll do. You'll crawl back into those rocks where you'll be ashamed to say all that stuff. Okay? Where you will be ashamed. Because our woke asses are going to put you in your places then. This is ridiculous. You guys all say the same shit. What would you do? What would you do if right now Obama or Biden was invading Florida or invading Georgia or invading Texas against Governor Abbott's wants and needs? I don't need you here. I don't need you here. Oh, I think we're going to come anyway. What the fuck would you people do? Remember that right now in this moment.